Hi everyone, welcome to Frontend Mechanics. I am Nikhil, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the second question in Leetcode Top Interview 150. This is going to be a short and simple video, so let's jump in. Before proceeding to the implementation of the problem, let's first understand it in a visual manner and then we'll see to it. So in this challenge, we are given an array nums and an integer val. So what we have to do is remove all the occurrences of val in nums in place. It's important to note that it should be in place. And then what you have to do is we have to return k. Now this k should specify that the first k element of nums does not have any value equaling to this particular val. Let's understand it better with the help of a diagram. And by the way, I'm using this particular example to explain the concept. So our nums is 3, 2 to 3 and val is equal to 3. Okay, so I've drawn the original array over here, 3, 2, 2, 3, the value which has to be removed 3, and I've also initialized the k equal to 0. In order to execute this challenge, we will be using this particular mechanism over here. So what we'll do is we'll traverse the entire array from initial position to the last position. We'll take this particular val, compare it with each element, and if they are not equal, then it means that we can keep them in the array. If these are equal, like 3 is equal to 3, we have to remove this. So we'll need to remove this, right? That's how we'll remove the occurrences of val in this array. And if they are not equal, then we can keep this. Let's take it one step further. So let's suppose that we are doing an iteration from initial position 0 to the length of the entire array. So in the first iteration, our I will be equal to 0 and k, as we have initialized over here, would be 0. So if we match nums of I, that is this value 3, and our val 3, we can simply observe that they are equal. So as per the mechanism, we do not need to do anything. We can move one step forward. In iteration 2, I becomes 1, but we can observe k is still 0. So if we compare this particular value, nums of I, that is nums of 1, and the value, I'll just paste it over here. Okay, I'll just paste it. Okay, alright. So if we compare nums of I, that is 2, and a value, we can see that they are not equal. And as per the mechanism, we have to change nums of k to nums of I. So nums of k would be this position over here, this position over here, and we have to change it with nums of I with this position over here. I'll change the color. So we have to change this. So what we can do is change this with 2. Right? So this is changed. When we come in the next iteration, we can observe that k becomes, we have to increment k by 1. In the next iteration, k becomes 1, inherited from here, and I is incremented by 1, incremented from here. So I becomes 2. So comparing this and our value, we can see that they are not equal. Hence, we have to change nums of k, right? Nums of k, that is nums of 2 with nums of I. So the value, this would also be changed and will increment k by 1. Actually, we have to make the change, but all the values are 2, so it's not visible. And in the last iteration, k would be 2 as inherited from here, and I will be equal to 3 as we are incrementing the value of I by 1. So we can see that this value and this value is equal. So as per the mechanism, we don't need to do anything. this would be our final array and the value of k would be 2. But we might be wondering that the iteration is complete, but still there's a 3 left in the array and we have not removed all the occurrences of the specified value. So we can return to the question over here, and we'll need to see that we have to return k. Now this k specifies that the first k elements in the modified array should not have any value that is equal to this particular value. So our value of k is 2, and we can see that the first 2 elements are not equal to this value, and the remaining elements of nums are not important, right? So we can safely ignore all the values that fall after k equals to 2. Hence, this is how we'll approach our question, and we'll now code it in JavaScript. To implement this solution, we'll be using the approach that we discussed in the last section, and we'll follow the same mechanism. So let's do it. So let k is equal to 0, we initialize k to 0, and we have to traverse the entire array from starting to the entire length. So a simple for loop will do, initializing I to 0 and I less than nums of length and I plus plus. Inside the for loop, we'll write an if case. If nums of I, that is the value in consideration, is not equal to the given val, in this case we have to do 2 things. Firstly, we have to change nums of k with nums of I, and if we do so, the second thing that we have to do is increment k by 1. Once this entire for loop is done, what we can do is we can simply return k over here. Let's try to run it. So both the cases are passed and submitted. Okay, so the runtime is 66 ms, which is only beating 22.56%, but the memory is optimal, it beats 65.70. So if you know of a solution better than this, more optimal than this, then please let me know. I'll be happy to take a look and understand it and implement it. So that was it. I tried to keep the solution and the explanation as short and as simple as possible. But if there is something that you don't understand, please comment down, I'll reply to you. And if there's something that you want me to improve, please comment down. I'll definitely take a look at it and implement it in my next upcoming videos. So this was all. I'll see you the next time.